Today I want to talk about gaslighting. Probably heard the term. I don't know the exact definition. Something like subverting your sense of reality or trying to give you a false sense of reality to manipulate you. That's the general idea of it, I think. Um, which begs a few questions. First one that comes to mind is, what is truth? Now, truth is complicated. I mean, in some sense, it's simple. From sort of a logical, mathematical perspective, people might think it's true that 2 plus 2 equals 4. That's sort of the most obvious example. Um, but like, what does that mean? You have 2 oranges and another 2 oranges. Yeah, it's true that you have 4 oranges. Um, but if you don't talk about like oranges, for example, which is sort of a weird example, but what came to mind, um, then it's just this abstract thing. That's the thing about logic and math, is it's sort of by definition abstract. Which begs the question, what does abstract mean? Abstract to me means that it's a model, not the real thing, but an abstract model of the thing or an analogy. And analogies are important, I think. Analogies are what help us understand the universe or reality. Universe and reality. Personally, I believe that there is only one universe and reality is real. A lot of people talk about how this is a simulation or we're part of a multiverse. By certain interpretations of quantum mechanics, maybe that's true. I don't think it is. I think that this is the universe and this is reality, and this is the one shot that we get. And what we do matters. And in that sense, it's important that we understand what's real. And it's important what we do. And where to go from there? Well, what I'm doing is recording this video. Why? What I can do right now, what I feel like doing right now. Which brings us to feelings, which people who operate from a very logical mathematical space perhaps like to ignore, but they're important. They're, from a logical and mathematical perspective, they're information. And to ignore information is unwise and I think unintelligent or stupid. So I try to pay attention to my feelings. But I don't just pay attention to my feelings. I also use tools like logic and mathematics to try to understand the universe, to try to understand reality, and to guide what I do. I guess you've probably heard of emotional intelligence, um, which I think is important, and certainly a kind of intelligence, to contrast it from logical or mathematical intelligence or musical intelligence or physical intelligence. Like there's all sorts of, or artificial intelligence, which is relevant these days. Where am I going with all this? Where are we going with all of this? What kind of world do we want to live in? I think about that a lot. The world we live in is sometimes scary, sometimes exhilarating, filled with love, it's filled with hate, it's filled with anger and compassion, and it's filled with everything that we know and everything that we understand. So I guess I don't know if I have that much more to say today, but I guess I'll close off by saying don't think without feeling and don't feel without thinking. Try to understand yourself, try to understand others, try to understand as much as you can. Try to act intelligently, try to act wisely, try to do what you can to make reality, the universe, your universe, the best reality, the best universe, the best experience it can be. I guess that's all I have.